I stood in the heart of the grand living room, the very one I had designed, funded, and built with my own 2 hands. The marble beneath my feet, the chandeliers above, the panoramic windows framing the city skyline. It was all mine, or at least it had been. Now, I stood surrounded by my in-laws, their eyes gleaming with barely restrained triumph, like vultures circling a carcass they believed was already dead. My wife, no, the woman who used to be my wife, sat comfortably on the velvet couch, her arms crossed, lips twisted into a smug little smile that made my stomach turn. "You need to leave," her father said, puffing up his chest with a false sense of authority. "The house, the cars, the company, they're all in her name now. You got nothing left here." I said nothing. Instead, I slowly exhaled, feeling the edge of the envelope in my pocket. Cool, smooth, heavy with truth. This was the moment, the one I had meticulously prepared for. I raised my eyes and met theirs one by one, my wife, her father, her mother, her brother, the whole cast of traitors. They saw what they wanted to see, a broken man, defeated, discarded, ruined. They had no idea what was coming. It had started 6 months ago. The rot had been growing for much longer, but that was when I finally noticed the stench. Her family had always tried to control things. Subtle at first, but always present, nudging, whispering, undermining. They hated that I was self-made, that I had clawed my way to success without needing old money, legacy, or family name. When they suggested transferring my assets into my wife's name for protection, I should have known. But I smiled, nodded, and played the part of the trusting fool. Let them think they were outsmarting me. Let my wife rest her head on my shoulder and whisper promises in the dark. "It's just temporary," she'd murmur. "We'll always share everything." I saw it in her father's eyes as I signed the papers. The glint of greed, of conquest. I watched her mother's lips curl with satisfaction, and her brother, useless, entitled, grin like he had just inherited the world. They thought they had taken everything from me, but they underestimated me. They forgot that I read every contract, every clause, every word. The night I discovered her affair, I didn't rage. I didn't scream or cry. I just felt cold, clean, clear. She thought she was clever. Careless phone messages, late-night meetings, whispering in the hallway just a second too long before I walked in. But her arrogance was her weakness. That night, while she lay asleep beside me, breathing softly, I stared at the ceiling and made my decision. I wouldn't walk away. I would scorch the earth. My first move was ensuring my safety. That's where they slipped. The final page of the agreement I had signed, buried deep in the legalese, contained a clause. If infidelity on her part could be proven, every asset, every title, every right would legally revert to me. They never noticed. Too confident, too greedy, too stupid. From that moment on, I gathered evidence, quietly, methodically. Photographs, videos, transaction records. Everything I needed to destroy the carefully crafted illusion of their innocence. I liquidated hidden accounts, shifted ownership of quiet investments. They didn't even know those assets existed. And then I waited. Now, we had arrived at the grand finale. "You need to leave," her father repeated, more forcefully this time, voice sharp with irritation. I reached into my pocket, pulled out the envelope. I didn't rush. Let them squirm. Let the silence grow heavy. I placed it on the table with a deliberate, almost lazy motion. "What's this?" My wife scoffed, snatching it up. She flipped through the pages, that smug smile still hanging on her face. Until it wasn't. Her eyes widened, the color draining from her cheeks. Confusion turned to disbelief. Disbelief to horror. Surprised? I asked, tilting my head slightly. "You shouldn't be." Her father lunged forward, ripping the documents from her trembling hands. His face turned crimson as he read, jaw clenching tighter with each line. The infidelity clause. I said, casually, "You'd be amazed what people miss when they're too busy gloating." The silence that followed was suffocating. My wife stared at me, lips parted, but no sound came. Her brother, ever the hothead, lunged at me with a roar. I sidestepped easily, watching him stumble forward and crash into the coffee table like the fool he's always been. You did this on purpose, my wife finally whispered, eyes wide with dawning comprehension. I leaned in, my voice barely above a whisper, colder than winter air. Of course I did. Her mother clutched her husband's arm, panic in her voice. There has to be a way around this. There has to be. There isn't. I cut her off, sharp and final. It's ironclad. You would have known that if any of you actually read what I signed. Her father slammed the documents down, shaking with fury. This won't hold up in court. We have better lawyers than you could ever. I laughed, a low, humorless sound. Oh, I doubt that. That's the other thing you never considered. I've already spoken to the press. Every photo, every message, every betrayal. Your lies, your fraud, your daughter's affair. It'll all be public knowledge by tomorrow. Enjoy your precious reputation while you still have it. Then I delivered the final blow. You have 24 hours to get out of my house. My voice was soft, but it cut like a blade. I want you gone. All of you. My wife's lips quivered, trying to form a response. But there was nothing left to say. She knew it. I knew it. I stepped forward, slow and sure. The house? Mine. The cars? Mine. The company? Every single share, mine. You came for everything. And now you have nothing. She trembled, a shell of the woman who had once tried to destroy me. Her father was red with rage, her mother gasping as if her world had ended, and her brother, he just sat there, slack-jawed, finally realizing the free ride was over. I turned toward the door, my back to them. I paused only once, just long enough to speak my final words. You try to destroy me, I said softly. A pause. Now you get to watch as I erase you instead. And then, without another glance, I walked out. I never looked back.